A few weeks ago, when I was talking about Atari's latest game in their Recharged series, I openly wondered what a pole position reboot would look like. I mean, would the developers try to keep the original pixel look, or go with something that's like more ultra-modern? In my head, I pictured a low-polygon take that basically split the difference between the two. I pictured a game like Race Condition, which just launched on PC. It's a throwback racer that feels like the kind of game that you would have seen in the arcades back in the day. It's fast, it's fun, and oh, so easy to pick up, which as far as I'm concerned is the perfect combination. But in a genre dominated by Forza and Gran Turismo, will this simplistic take still satisfy race fans? Well, that's what I wanted to find out in my review of Race Condition. I knew that I was gonna like Race Condition right from the moment I turned it on. Between the low polygon look and stripped down approach, I prepared myself for a nostalgic trip back to a time when arcade racing games dominated the market and nobody cared about open world racers. It was a time when all we really needed was good gameplay and a few different tracks to race. Toss in the ability to play with a friend and run the courses backwards, and it felt like you scored a great deal. That's exactly what Race Condition offers. It's a straightforward racing game that gives you everything you could possibly want, assuming that what you want is a racing game from 1993. Everything from the gameplay to the graphics to the modes are purposely simple, harkening back to an era when just being able to change the camera angle was considered a big deal. If you can remember the feeling that you had the first time you saw Sega's Virtual Racing, then Race Condition was made for you. Now, for the most part, the game revolves around the World Tour mode, which tells the story of an aspiring driver who travels to different countries in hopes of making a name for themselves. There's a story here about how we're constantly fighting for acceptance in a sport dominated by a veteran driver named Dickman. But what you need to focus on is coming in first and earning a lot of experience points. We start out with only 3 tracks open to us, which is followed by 3 more tracks being unlocked every time we level up. There are 10 of these courses in all, 20 if you count being able to race the tracks backwards. So, like I said at the top, the racing here feels like it came straight out of an arcade game. Let me tell you, this is not a simulator. The game rewards us for being aggressive and taking shortcuts around especially tight corners. There are no penalties for running the other drivers off the course or slamming them into the walls. And even if you spin out or crash, it's shockingly easy to catch back up and overtake the competition. This is a game that prioritizes fun over realism, which is just one of the reasons why I had such a great time with Race Condition. Now, it helps that the game is absolutely gorgeous. There's something about the low polygon look that is comforting to me. It's clean and easy on the eyes. What's more, there are a lot of different locations, each of which plays with color in their own unique ways. From the scorching heat of the desert to the snowy winter courses, every track has their own unique style and personality. I'm especially impressed by the weather conditions, which include both rain and snow. You can also run the tracks at night, giving us a course drenched in shadows. All this adds up to a great looking game with some real eye-catching stages. One of the things that you'll notice is that you're always running races against the same 11 drivers, with a certain Dickman always way out in front. In that sense, the game's a little too predictable, but on the other hand, that rivalry is baked into the story. The problem is that Dickman is designed to be a, well, you know. It doesn't matter how far out ahead you are, the character's rubber band AI allows him to magically catch up and stay competitive. Oddly enough, this doesn't seem to be the case with any of the other drivers, which all but guarantees that you're going to be left battling Dickman in every single stage. Some may look at this rivalry as exciting, but it felt like cheating to me. For as much as I like the bare-bones approach, part of me wishes that there were more modes or race types. Sure, the World Tour is fun, and the time trial is a welcome addition, but outside of using quick play to race against up to 3 other friends, there really isn't much else to talk about. It would have been nice to have more control over the time of day or the weather conditions. I love the way the rain and the snow looks, and it's a shame that these are reserved for only a few specific stages. Another complaint I had was the steering, which felt a little oversensitive and took some getting used to. However, right before making this review, the game updated and included 3 handling options. Let me tell you, this greatly improves the handling and gives you more control over how the game plays. It was almost as if the developer was anticipating my criticism. Look, obviously, this is not the only throwback racing game on the market. We've seen a lot of these types of racers come and go for the last few years, and Race Condition is definitely one of the better examples. It's one of the few that genuinely looks and feels like something that would have come out of the 1990s, all the way down to the types of modes that it offers. And while there are a few things that I would like to see fixed and added, I had enough fun battling it out with Dickman to fully recommend Race Condition. Race Condition is a throwback racing game done right. With a low-polygon look and a stripped-down approach, this racer is easy on the eyes and a lot of fun to play. It's also filled with a nice variety of stages, a few well-crafted tracks, and a bit of rivalry that you'll never forget. Sure, the rubber band AI is annoying, and the game could have used a few more modes, including online play, but Race Condition gets almost everything else right. This is easily the best 1990s racing game to come out in 2022, at least so far. Hey, thanks for watching our review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now, here's the question I have for you. What is your favorite old school racing game? And yes, it can be a new school game pretending to be an old school game, like Race Condition. Let me see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back later this week with a review of Wing Breakers and Puzzles and Dragons, plus a Batman-themed Game Over episode. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,